Alright, so we got open workout 24.2, which is a 20-minute AMRAP of a 300-meter row, 10 deadlifts at 185 pounds or 83 kilo, and 50 double unders. So my strategy, clearly my strategy is based on me and where I'm at the moment. So as some of you would be aware, recovering from an injury, haven't been doing any deadlifts whatsoever, and very little sort of hinging movements, so I haven't deadlifted in a significant amount of time, which plays a big factor in part of my strategy. So pace wise on the rower, I am looking to maintain sort of a 2-minute pace from round 1 to the end of the workout. This is just to control heart rate. Even if I was to drop it down to sort of a 155 pace or a 150 pace, I'm only realistically saving about 6 seconds, I think it was. But the amount of effort to get down to that just isn't worth it. Going into the deadlifts, I'm holding singles the whole time. So my mindset for this is not super fast singles, but take a breath at the top and do not step away from the bar. That was probably something that I had to remind myself a few times throughout the workout. Just do not move from that bar. So the reason for this is just to manage the fatigue, just less time and attention. Therefore, I was able to maintain somewhat of a good pace through the whole thing. Going into the double unders, I was looking to break once, so 2 sets. Again, this is purely just to manage heart rate. So 25 and 25 was how I was breaking it up. I wanted to keep the rest relatively short on that break. Didn't want it to extend like past sort of 20 seconds. In the later rounds, that did end up happening. Nothing too crazy, but if I was to do that again, that's something that I would want to definitely have a bit more focus on. Always making sure that I set the rope up properly. And so that was my strategy. A few little tips, especially for the rower. Make sure you got the straps on the rower for your feet. Not super loose, but where you don't have to worry about tightening and unloosening them when you're getting in and out of the rower. Again, a 2-minute pace is not a fast pace, but it's definitely a pace that I can maintain, and therefore not sort of boost up the heart rate too much going off the rower. So the hardest transition is from the rower to the deadlift. You're going to want to sort of take your time, because you just heart rate is higher after the row. So one thing I had to remind myself was those fast transitions, especially getting off the row onto that deadlift. So I made it sort of a point to myself that walk straight up to the bar and pick it up regardless of how I felt, and then if needed take a slightly longer rest or breath, an extra breath on that second rep. So throughout the workout, due to not deadlifting, it was probably the 3rd round where I felt a little bit, or a significant amount of fatigue on the deadlifts, and that was doing it singles. So this strategy worked really well for me, and again, that's just where I'm at the moment. I was pretty consistent on the pacing for probably 4 rounds, I think. So timing was pretty good. I was a little bit surprised on how high my heart rate got by the time I got to the double unders, which made me a little bit less efficient, but nothing crazy. I tripped I think twice on the entire workout. That definitely breaking that up for me is a good idea. I'm pretty good at double unders. I'm not terrible, but definitely if I was to try to do them unbroken, I think I would have tripped a hell of a lot more. Your heart rate by the time you get to the double unders is definitely a lot higher than what you think it would be. So efficiency is going to play even more of a factor when getting to those double unders. So keeping the arms nice and close to the hips, nice efficient jumping, so not bringing the heels up to the bum or anything like that, and trying to make sure that you're staying in the same spot. The other thing that I tried to do on the rower is making sure that I get to my pace as quick as possible. So I was able to get to my pace pretty much every time in 2 pulls. So the first one, just really driving with the legs, and then the second one, a little less drive, but just making sure that I get to that rowing pace as quick as possible. Even though it's not a fast pace, you definitely don't want to be spending 15 to 20 seconds just getting to your pace, because that's just going to add time on the rower. So, and especially if you're already sort of not going at a world record pace, you want to get to that pace as fast as possible. So it was about two strokes, and then I was sort of into my pace. So this is round number 3. So this is where I start to get that fatigue in the posterior chain on the deadlifts here. So taking a little bit longer, big breath, picking up the bar. So it wasn't that the bar felt heavy for me. It was just the fatigue. So I was able to move the bar each rep, no issues. From the 22.1, so last week's workout, I actually pulled up quite sore for 2 days or 2.5 days. So this workout is pretty much same movements. So for 24.1, it was 2 hinging movements and a jumping movement, and for this one it is 2 hinging movements and a jumping movement. So obviously the loads are heavier for the second hinging movement, so I'm betting I'm going to pull up a little bit sore, or hopefully not as sore as 24.1, but we'll see how we go. It wasn't sort of like injury soreness, it was just muscular fatigue and that type of thing. So but definitely really sore on that first one, so I'm guessing that it's going to be the same for this one. Now I think it was this round, might be the next one. Okay. I end up doing 3 sets on the double unders, so sort of went to plan B here. Again, that was just heart rate was significantly higher than I would like, and I think the mindset was to do those extra set rather than tripping multiple times and doing 4 or 5 sets. So it was definitely the next round, but sort of ended up having to go to plan B. But rower and deadlift sort of strategy held through. Obviously on the deadlifts a little bit longer set in between the reps. The row did blow out a little bit on a few, I think probably this round and the next one and the one after that. Sort of went out to a 2:05 pace, but it was only for short periods of time. I was able to bring it back most of the time. That was just feeling sorry for myself more than anything else, more mental than anything else. But again, even going out to a 2:05 pace isn't going to make a significant difference. You're only adding a few extra seconds to the row. So I think as long as you can stay consistent on the rower, I wouldn't worry about too much, as long as you're not going too slow, obviously. And depending on the type of athlete you are as well. So if you're a taller and heavier athlete, you're going to have an easier time on the rower. But even then, I still wouldn't be trying to you know, do your 500 meter pace or anything like that. Sort of pacing wise, you're looking at more like your 5k pace. That's sort of what I based mine off, is a 5k pace, because that 5k is about 20 minutes, so that's what I based mine off. I think I went even probably a little bit slower than that, but that was when I was coming up with my strategy. That's what I was sort of basing it off here. One thing that I did find with a deadlift, and that's purely just because I haven't been deadlifting much, is just my timing was off on the deadlifts. So a few of the reps here, I don't know if it was a specific set, but hips were shooting up first, which is not ideal, and that's just due to not deadlifting more than anything else. So you might see a few head shakes during this workout, and that's me knowing exactly what's happening, and just but really using this open to build some momentum for my training. I will be doing the qualifiers as well, so again, just to boost momentum. So here is what's this, round 4, taking a little bit longer rest than I would have liked. Definitely need to cut that down, so pushing out to 30-35 seconds is not ideal, especially with the double unders. I'm pretty sure this is where I do my first set of 3. Yeah, so a little bit longer rest here. But again, during this, like, even though I am taking longer than I would like, I'm definitely talking to myself, telling myself to move, and that's something that I found I had to do quite a bit. And also apparently I had 4 more reps to do, so did those extra 4 reps, which is fine. Also, whilst I'm talking about my judge, special thanks to my judge once again for coming out super early in the morning. Again, this is this actually a little bit or slightly less earlier than the 24.1. This is about 5:45 in the morning, so nice and early. So again, thanks to the judge coming out nice and early to judge me. So again, on this one, round number 5, you can see on the display there on my phone, we got 205 pace. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting more power per stroke and having a breath in between each stroke. So I'm rowing the same pace as I was before, as in like the 205 pace, but each stroke is a little bit more powerful, so using more my strength endurance rather than fitness, and that was just purely just to manage that heart rate. Had a lot of practice. I've done a lot of rowing over the years, so I find that helps with just maintaining or managing heart rate, I should say. So on this set, definitely feeling it. So the rest in between each rep is getting longer. Start thinking about life decisions in between each set here. Hands on knees, which is never good, but again, I know that, so talking to myself, saying move that bar. Again, it wasn't that the bar's heavy, it was just the fatigue. So this set and the next set is where my timing for my deadlifts really sort of goes out the window. Hips are coming up a bit early. I was able to maintain my spine, so I wasn't worried about sort of risk of injury or anything like that. It's just simply timing was off. So, but definitely looking, once the open is done to start deadlifting a significant amount more, really putting in the reps. Now that I'm squatting again, whilst being a lightweight, next focus is to start deadlifting. Again, it's going to start off lightweight, but just getting the movement pattern back and the hinging, building the load through that hinging movement. So here again, we're going for the 3 sets. So when I was doing the 3 sets, it was 20, 15, and 15. Again, trying to maintain somewhat of a consistent rest period. I didn't want that rest to blow out too much. Well, I didn't want it to blow out at all, but... So for this workout, the overall strategy for me was sort of definitely a slower pace and a strategy that would mitigate muscular fatigue and just blowing up in the workout. So I think the strategy overall worked quite well for me and where I'm at. And if I was to do it again, the only thing that I would change would be just the transitions, really tidying up the transitions. So that's pretty much the only thing that I would change. Now, if you go back and have a look at my CrossFit Open workout playlist on my YouTube channel, where I've done workouts multiple times, every single time I've done it again, I've beaten my time or my score or improved the second time around. So I know that if I was to do both week 1 and this one again, I would definitely get a better score than I did the first time around. Just from doing the workout once, obviously you learn from it, and obviously watching and analysing the video as well, and seeing what you can do better and improve on. Because obviously if I was to do this again, like in 2 days, I'm not all of a sudden going to be miraculously stronger or fit or anything like that. So it comes down to strategy and execution on the strategy. But overall, I was quite happy with my execution on the first attempt. I got pretty much where I thought I was going to get for this particular workout. This workout, I felt more comfortable compared to the first workout, 24.1. Even though I didn't do super fantastic in either of the workouts, definitely felt a little bit more comfortable. This is sort of more the sort of time frame that I've sort of been working at. So haven't been doing a lot of sort of sprinting type workouts, more the 15 to 20 minute sort of type workouts. No, and plus. So you would have seen on that, I think it was the second rep, shake of the head. That was just because I felt that the timing was off. So the hips are up, coming up, timing just not great, but I was able to maintain spine, even though it wasn't in the perfect position. As long as I was maintaining the spine through the lift, I know that risk of re-injuring or causing an injury is a lot lower. So the final 60 seconds here. One thing that I didn't want to do during this workout is finish on the row. And when I looked at the row, I looked at the time whilst I was on the rower at the start of this round, I realised that I was going to end up finishing on the row. So my main priority here, even though I didn't want to finish on the row, was just getting this round down and at least giving me time to get any type of rep on the row. So jumping on the row, I think I have 20 seconds on the row. I ended up getting 70 meters, I think. so that I get 7 reps, because it's 1 rep for every 10 meters or something like that. So I end up finish because you're allowed to get that rollover. Yeah, so 221 I finish on, so the row's counting down, so that's almost 80 meters, but I didn't get that extra one, so I get credited with 70 meters, which is 7 reps. So 6 rounds and 7 reps for this one, not too bad. Till next one.